Worksheet again.
Okay, everybody, it's 7 o'clock. Everybody, please rise. Councilman Mijo is going to lead us in invocation, and Councilman Berg will lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
You all please bow your heads. Dear Jesus, we pray for our deployed service members and their families. We pray for those suffering from addictions, and we pray for those suffering from COVID. In your name, Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please have a seat. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We have some members of our zoning board and planning and zoning boards are here. We appreciate having them here with us, and any other visitors we have. First item is public comments. I don't think we had any over the internet this time. Is anybody in the audience who wishes to make any comments at this time? Okay, I don't see anybody. We go next to the adoption of minutes. We have 3 sets of minutes. July 6, 2021, work session. July 20th, 2021, council work session. And July 26, 2021, special council meeting. I'll entertain a motion to adopt all 3 as written, or we can take each one individually if it's necessary.
Mayor, I move that we adopt all 3 of these as written in one motion.
Second that motion.
Have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I call for the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, the minutes have all been passed. Thank you very much. Old business. There's no old business tonight. On the new business, we have appointments for Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals. Councilman Mijo and Director of Operations, Brumfield, please.
Sergeant first to Director Brumfield.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, in your packet, you should have some literature that Ms. Heidi provided us on renewal to our Planning and Zoning Board, which Planning and Zoning Appeals Board first, which consists of Mr. Steve Bertram, Mr. Gary Davies, Mr. Randall Wright, Ms. Marjorie Hartwig has graciously accepted to step in, and Mr. Lee Garrett, who is here tonight, has agreed to step in. What we are asking for tonight is for you, Mayor and Council, to accept this as written.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion at this point.
Mayor. Okay, so Mayor, I make a motion that we adopt these appointments for the Planning and Zoning Board members.
Planning and zoning board first, okay?
Okay, I have a
Second.
motion, and I have a second. Do you have any further discussion on this?
I don't know that the names that are on the resolution are
Yeah, that's correct.
these correct.
Mhm. And then the zoning board of appeals then is, Mr. Gary Davey, Mr. Steve Bertram, Mr. Randall Wright, Mr. Lee Garrett, and Ms. Margie Hartwig on the, top of the question, then you'll vote on the second one.
Oh, okay, I see that.
Correct.
It is. That said it expired, the new one too.
On some of those, yeah, they're just 2 separate issues.
I got it. All right. Okay, Mr. Randall Wright, his basically has expired, so his has been extended till July 22, 2025.
Yeah, I talked to Mr. Wright, and he's good with that.
And that's planning and zoning.
That's planning zone, that's correct. Okay, any further comments or questions? Hearing none, I'll call for the question. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. It's approved. Thank you very much, everybody here, for staying with us as we grow. I'll
And
say,
then here's the next one.
right. Okay, the next one, please.
is the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Yes.
Yes.
Mayor has a copy right here.
Yeah,
I can read it. This board, we've actually had a couple vacancies on it for a while. Mr. Davy has been faithful to serve, Mr. Bertram and Randall Wright. This resolution, fills the seats Margie Hartwig for a 3-year term, Lee Garrett for a 3-year term, and Randall Wright for a 3-year term. Consider a motion, if someone would consider making a motion to approve those appointments.
Okay, entertain a motion.
So Mayor, I, make a motion that we adopt the zoning board of appeals as written.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. It passes.
Mayor, I would recognize that Mr. Davy is here tonight, and Mr. Steve Onrath, who has served faithfully on our planning and zoning board as well.
and Mr. Lee Garrett is here.
Oh, there he is.
Yep.
So we appreciate it.
Sometimes our eyes don't quite see far enough.
No, I don't, Mr. Garrett and I haven't met before, I don't think, so.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you all very much, for being with us and helping us as we grow. To me, it's just important that the city continue to grow, so we can offer more services to people. All right. Next item here is the Solid Waste Management Ordinance Amendment. Councilman Wright and Director of Operations Drumfield, please.
Go to Brumfield.
And sometime back, Councilman Wright brought up some things that we need to fix in our solid waste ordinance. Miss Becky and I have gone through it, Miss Betty in the water office. We kind of cleaned up a lot of the things that were different from what we actually showed online. And I'm not gonna read the whole thing here, it just updates our pricing for the different things that we accept and what Ryland charges us for. Updates our utility, some of our utility cut-on fees, but basically it's just an update of the solid waste ordinance. We'd like to just.
Mike, can you walk us through the changes to the roll-off rates?
Roll-off rates were, we talked with Riley, our government contractor, and we raised those rates because we weren't covering our landfill charges and stuff. Each pool on roll-off is $200, and city gets part of that, and Riley gets part of that. Carts are $18 per pool, individuals, and we're doing away with extra carts, so.
So the goal behind this was just to make this a little more streamlined. If you remember the last price list that we adopted, it was pages and pages and pages
Yes,
of itemized things. It was very specific, but so specific that it almost made your eyes cross and try to look at it. This makes it a little easier to understand. It reduces some fees in some areas to try to maybe be willing to make some of this money that we need to make the difference in the landfill fees off of developers and contractors and less off of individual homeowners.
That's correct.
Less off of individual homeowners who are looking to improve their primary residence and be willing to charge some of those extra fees towards people who are, it is the cost of doing business for them. They're doing it, for a living. So, Mayor, I would move that we adopt this as written so that we can make these changes.
Okay, have a motion, have a second?
Second.
Okay. I have one question on the thing. I don't understand the additional cart being deleted. Because I've seen
Sir,
more than one person with 2 carts out there.
what was the question? I'm sorry.
Oh, I can't understand why we deleting the additional cart if somebody wants to have 2 carts.
No, we're not deleting it. I'm sorry, we're getting rid of the blue cans.
Oh, the blue can.
Yes, so the recycling blue cans.
Okay, because the words in here are the additional cart says deleted, and each additional cart is deleted. And one's under the carts and one's on the commercial carts.
don't think that's correct, Mayor.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a typo on there. We still have the extra card.
Okay, well, what we need to do probably then is just,
Well, Mayor, let's amend this motion to approve this provisionally with the stipulation that we're gonna correct the language on the residential cards, that there is still an option to have an additional. You don't have to know the fee for that off the top of your head, do you? If you don't, that's
It's gonna be the same
it's the
thing.
same price.
Yes.
You're just paying for a second
As an
additional
additional
card. So,
card,
yeah.
yes, sir.
So Mayor, if it's all right with you, we'll move to approve this provisionally and then make that change. That was just a typographical error in here.
okay, it's fine with me, whoever seconded, they agree?
Yes.
I don't recall who seconded.
I second.
All right, he agrees, okay. Any further comments or questions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, it is hereby approved.
okay, I made that note. And what we'll do is, add that back in before we send the Unicode.
Okay. Good. All right, item number 6 is the approval of the 2021 F-150 truck expenditure, water and sewer. Councilman Amijo and Director Brumfield.
All right, sir.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this has been a heck of an ordeal here. Right now, it's almost impossible to get this new pickup trucks. We have in our budget this year budgeted $50,000 for two new pickup trucks in the water and sewer department. What we have come up with is that they are a little bit more. We have Riverside Forwarders contacted us and told us they have 2 on the lot. They will sell to us for $26,220, and we won't have to wait till December or January to get them. So, we would like to go ahead and get it approved to purchase these 2 trucks for $26,220 a piece. But the little bit of overage on the vehicles would easily be absorbed in my water and sewer budget.
I entertain a motion at this point.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the purchase of the, F-150 trucks. I'll second that motion.
Okay, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion with anybody?
I do have a question. So,
Yes.
Director, those trucks are gonna be replacement, or are they additional?
Additional right now, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
They got 2 new people a couple years ago.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That is approved.
I hope they still have them tomorrow. It's been a day-to-day thing. I mean,
All
they'll have
right.
them one day and the next day they won't.
I saw in the news where there are a lot of trucks just sitting because they're waiting for computer chips.
Yes, sir. They've got thousands and thousands of them, but they're no good to us.
It's strange to drive by a little Toyota. My daughter's school is by a little Toyota. It's strange to drive by there and see their lot just empty with no trucks. That's never happened. So
Yeah.
we lived here.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Okay, item number 7 here is approval letter of intent, AARP, community designation, Councilman Armijo and Director of Marketing, Overbridge.
Ms. Hogan?
Alright. A couple of weeks ago, Mayor and Councilman Armijo and I had a chance to sit down and hear from AARP on their age-friendly community designation. This designation is an acknowledgement for many of the quality of life initiatives that we're already accomplishing in the city of Centerville. This designation does open up the city to a network of other like-minded communities and provide resources. I provided the PowerPoint to Mayor, Councilman Armijo and I heard to you last week. I also drafted a letter of intent for us to join the program. The barrier to join is relatively low with annual reporting over a 5-year period. There's also an opportunity to access grant funding through their Community Challenge grant. I think this is a great opportunity to be recognized for our conscious efforts to make Centerville the best place to live, work, and play in Middle Georgia for all ages. I hope you will consider moving forward. Tonight's agenda item is for approval of Mayor Harley signing this letter of intent and so that I can move forward with completing our application with AARP.
Thank you.
Okay, entertain a motion.
So Mayor, I make a motion that, that we approve you to sign the letter of intent with us, with us receiving the AARP community designation.
Okay, have a motion, have a second.
Second.
Have a second. Okay, I hope everybody's had an opportunity to review this, because I think it's an excellent thing for the city to be qualified for this. And it shows that we are committed to giving our old residents the opportunity to live what they call rewarding, productive, and safe lives. And this is a way of getting it done. There's actually no cost to us other than time and trouble having to process the paperwork. Okay, anybody have any comments or questions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. I will sign the letter. Thank you all very much for that.
Thank you.
And thank you, Ms. Holden, for doing this. Okay. Item number 8 is home-based business license, Councilman Wright, City Clerk Benfield, Gallagher Home Solutions, owner Nathaniel Gallagher, 124 Limestone Trail, and additional duties assigned to LLC, owner Deshauna Brown, 304 Westfield Drive.
Mayor, we have before you, in your packet, 2 applications for home-based business. As you mentioned, Gallagher Home Solutions, it is a handyman repair and maintenance outfit. And you have additional duties assigned, which is a clever name for a virtual office assistant. They're going to be working from home to type letters, do social media, email meetings, all done remotely and done from home. It doesn't seem that any of both of these businesses meet all our requirements for a home-based business. I think it would be a great addition to the community. If it is appropriate, I move that we adopt both of these at the same time. I don't believe either Mr. Gallagher or Ms. Brown is here tonight, but that's okay. If we can, I move that we adopt both of these requests for home-based business license as written.
Okay, have a
Second
motion.
motion.
And a second. Anybody have any comments or questions? These are both interesting. Okay, hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, these pass. And I welcome our new business partners in the city. I thank them very much for wanting to be part of this. All right, item number 9, the proposed street name change of public place dedication ordinance. It's got my name on here, so that means I have to talk about it. This is good for me. We had a group come to us here recently and asked to change the name of a major street here in Centerville. And we've never thought about doing it before, so we did some research and found out that we actually need an ordinance to make this a possibility. So we've created an ordinance here. And at this point, yeah, we're going to, I guess probably, I don't want to really read this whole entire thing. I'll be here all night.
I can give you an overview now.
Please, if you give me an overview, I appreciate it.
What we did when we started researching requests for a name change, first of all, the name change was going to affect several hundred addresses. And we started realizing there needs to be an orderly process and some consideration of the people who would be affected by the change. So what we did was research other cities' ordinances and processes and came up with an ordinance and an application for a street name or public place dedication form. Mike and Kate and I all worked on this, and we have a proposed draft ordinance with a application form that you all might consider adopting. I would say we're talking about it tonight, give citizens time to look at it, and if they want to ask any questions, maybe at the next meeting, the work session, but we have not had a formal application for a street name change. And, you know, this would have something in place if a group comes forward to us officially wanting to apply for a name change, or we have someone in the future to do so.
I read this earlier in the week. Is there a provision in here that would require the group or the individuals that want to change the name to be responsible for any cost associated?
They would have to be responsible for the cost of signage changing, and there are a lot of things to consider. How many residences and businesses are affected? You know, the cost to change signage, maintain signage, name confusion, you coordinate with the post office, the sheriff's office, 911, the city, of course, any state roads or other places that might be affected. And so there would be a deposit, there would be a requirement to canvass the people who were to be affected by the address change, and you'd have to have at least 66% or 2/3 of those affected in agreement with the change. And then it would continue through a process. If you had 100% of the people in favor of the change, there wouldn't be a hearing. But yes, sir, the gist of this is, first of all, the people that would be affected, the cost to change and maintain signage, and
Do they have to pay for the cost of their newspaper notices? The
yes,
cost of stuff,
everything.
signs that get put on the side of the road that have to be posted for a
Yes,
certain amount of time, things like that. So that
Yes, sir.
they're on the hook for all of that.
Yes, sir. Plus the canvassing and getting the signatures. And this is a typical process for cities that have a formal process. You know, it's a big deal to just decide you're gonna change the name of a street and affect 200 or 300 people. So we could keep that open, Mayor, and it would
Right.
remain for the next agenda. And we could also post it on the website, and make it available for comments. I believe it probably already is. Yes, it is.
Have you had any comments about it?
The comment portion of that item isn't available yet, but it is part of our supporting documents under news and announcements. I'll make the comment portion available starting tomorrow morning through the council meeting and provide mayor and council with weekly updates as far as questions go.
Okay, then we'll come back and readdress it 2 weeks from now. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
All right, item number 10 is a discussion, Center Park Circle name change. Councilman Neal, please.
Thank you, Mayor. So, I know that there's been a lot, you know, we've been a very, living in a military community. One of the things that I was wanting to propose was that we change the name of the, street that is in the park, which is Central Park Circle, to, Patriot Circle. And the reason why I was doing that, and the reason I'm asking to do that, is because I wanted to be able to offer an opportunity for us in the city to honor those veterans who have served. And the street has never been officially named before. And also, there are no addresses associated with that street. So it's just that little road that goes through the park. So I thought it'd be a nice gesture from the city to recognize the veterans. And this, I understand, will also remain open for discussion for the next meeting, and then the mayor and council will vote based on it.
Can we put that out for, we're gonna put that out for comment and discussion? Well, that's, yeah, that's a good idea.
I think we should do that, yeah.
I will say that there is a Patriot Way in Warner Robins. So I don't know that that's a name confusion issue, because that park has that street has no addresses. As far as, there's no mail delivery address on that street. So
There's 300 peach trees in Atlanta, we'll be all right.
I understand, I'm just telling you. Normally, that would be a thing if the name was too familiar, but it's not one that affects mailing addresses.
So in the premise of the idea is to honor veterans.
Yes.
If we do something like that, maybe we have a little ceremony, have some veterans out there and all this, you know.
And with the city initiating a possible name change, then there wouldn't be an application process. The street has not been formally named by resolution, and the main reason for the process is to take into consideration the people who are affected by an address change, which is not the case on this one.
Okay, anybody else have any comments or thoughts? Item number 11 then is the announcement mural for Centerville Fall Festival, October 2nd. Councilman Neal and Director of Marketing, Hogan, please.
So, I know Director Hogan's gonna tell you about it, but well, you can see it right there, it's beautiful. So, go ahead.
Yes, so in an effort to continue to make Center Park a place for all and in the spirit of our Fall Festival, which is an arts and crafts festival, we're planning to have a live mural installation in Center Park on October 2nd. This means that the artist will physically be on site during the entire Fall Festival, actively painting the mural you see before you. This mural will be on the restroom building and provide the perfect selfie spot. Councilman Andrews and I had actually been working on this project prior to his departure. This rendition of the mural pays homage to our history of Gun Peaches, that used to be exactly where the Houston County Galleria stays. And we've also had a peach festival in our history before, and so I think this is a great opportunity to bring it back to our roots and have just a little piece of history on our walls. I think it's a subtle nod to our community and a great way of bringing some art into the park. For this installation, we are working with a local artist, Aaron Munn. He is a Board of Education employee, but he has also done murals throughout our community in Middle Georgia and throughout the state. I just wanted to present this mural to you and talk about the Fall Festival, as vendor applications did open up yesterday and we are finalizing our plans.
Perfect. So, do you mind if I show it to him?
Yeah.
It was an artist, maybe Councilman Andrews. He likes flowers.
It's about the Gun Peach Farm.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the whole thing, and it was everywhere out there. A lot of members
Good
of
beach
the-
plan, it's over there on 41.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, do you want to give our viewers online a second to view that poster as well?
If we can do that, can we put it up there?
Yeah, you just hold it up and they can view it.
All
So
right.
it will have City of Centerville name. I'd like to add our zip code too, because that is a unique opportunity to just highlight some more Centerville facts, but it's a peach blossom and it'll be just the perfect little selfie spot. We had the the Eagle Scouts, they put a planter box just right below it as a Eagle Scout project a couple of weeks ago, and it's overflowing with flowers and greens. So I think it's going to be a really great spot. And again, just making sure that we've got a little something for everyone on the campus of Center Park.
I'll tell you what, I know my wife and a number of her friends are very happy about this fall festival coming up, because they love participating in it. All right, item number 12 then is a point of information, CHIP grant eligible homeowners. Councilman Miho and Director of Marketing, Hogan, please.
I just wanted to give Mayor and Council a brief update regarding our CHIP 2021 grant. We're actively looking for applicants to apply for these homeowner occupied renovations. Sherry Kurtz is processing these applications and creating a list of qualified applicants and a wait list. When we begin to prepare for our first renovation later this year, she will go through that list in a first come, first served order. These applicants do have very strict income requirements. For a single person household size, they have to have $25,800 or less. Two people, $29,450 or less. Three, $33,150 or less. Four, $36,800 or less. And it goes all the way up to household size of 8. The residents also must live in 4 project areas. So if you live on the road of Scarborough Road, Prairie Boulevard, Brandiron Lane, Tumbleweed Circle, Brantley Road, Benjamin Road, Calvin Drive, Morgan Drive, Mason Drive, and Archdale Drive. This information is listed on our website and has been provided to multiple city departments, including the police department, the city clerk's office, and the water department. It was reported on by the House and Home Journal and 13 WMAZ. We currently only have one application that actually meets the income requirements, but they're looking into the feasibility of doing a home renovation right now. A total of 11 people have inquired directly to Sherry and her husband as our grant administrator about the project. I just wanted to keep you guys up to date on how this project is progressing.
Can you explain to everybody how the locations were determined?
Yes, sir. Those locations were actually determined based on census block groups. So there had to be a certain level of poverty associated with those specific streets. And so when Ms. Sherry was pulling together our grant application, she found those 4 areas specifically had enough poverty to make our application competitive, while also making sure that this is impacting low-income residents.
This is the first time we've ever gotten a CHIP grant, isn't it?
Yes, sir. This is the first, and we were afforded this opportunity because of our participation in the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing Program. We're in our junior year and wrapping it up. This year, the application stipulated that if you had never received a CHIP grant before, you actually were able to receive a few more points. And so this is a very unique opportunity and an opportunity for us to illustrate to the state that we have financial responsibility when it comes to a grant this large.
Do you think that part of the barrier to applicants is one of the stipulations that it must be an owner occupied house? I know in that area there's a lot of rental property and
It's actually the income.
the income.
So the income right now has weeded out the 10 other people who have inquired upon it. And then also the house has to be in your name. So as you, Councilman Wright, if you were applying, it had to be in your name, not your wife's name, not your children's name, not your parents' name. And so that has also been a barrier. If it becomes a continued barrier, Sherry said that she would reach back out to the state just to double check on those income requirements. And also we can potentially work with getting these properties a little bit clearer when it comes to title, as far as working with Georgia Legal Aid, etc.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate your diligence in following through on this and doing that. I really do. On
Yes,
a
sir.
personal basis, I appreciate it. I know the citizens appreciate it too. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, item number 13, authorization of the new bank account, CHIP grant 2021. Councilman Wright and City Accountant Harrison, please.
Yeah, Mayor, related to that matter that we just discussed there, this is just an authorization for a bank account to deal with and to disperse the funds related to this CHIP grant. Yeah, we don't want any of these funds to be commingled with any other city funds. So Carol, is there any special that we need to know, or is it just the same way we do a lot of these grant funds, it's just a similar account?
Well, this will be a separate account because we cannot commingle the grant funds, but we do need to approve to open the account. There is a resolution that will be signed as well as the signature card. So there'll be 2 places for each of you to sign, and then City Clerk Bedingfield will need to attest. I believe the mayor has the copy in his folder.
Yep.
So Mayor, I move that we adopt the resolution to open this bank account so that we are able to appropriately process the CHIP grant.
I have, well, all the sign it.
Oh, do we?
We all signed it, yes, sir.
All signed. Yeah, okay, I have a motion, have a second?
Second.
And a second. All right. Anybody have any comments at all? I'm so proud to sign this thing, I tell you. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. I knew I wouldn't hear one there. All right. Thank you very much. We'll proceed with that. Okay. Item number 14 is approval to proceed with process to maintain the 2021 millage rate at a current rate of 11.944. Councilman Wright and City Accountant Harrison, please.
Carol, do you want to give us just a brief summary of what we're adopting here tonight?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor and Council. In your folder tonight, there are 4 documents. There's the PT 32.1, which is the computation of the millage rate rollback. There's the 2021 tax digest and 5-year history of the levy. A summary of the 2021 property tax digest showing the gross and net changes in the digest from 2020. And then there's also just the senior exemptions for the tax year for 2021 and also the history of the exemptions since 2010. If we look to the, PT 32.1, which is the computation of the millage rate rollback, we do see that the rollback rate is 11.463. Our current rate is 11.944. This is a 4.20% difference. And as we move forward, if we were to stick with the current rate of 11.944, our property tax, gross property tax would be $2,386,490. If mayor and council went with the rollback rate of 11.463, the property tax, the gross would be $2,290,383. This is a difference of $96,107. If mayor and council did decide to stay with the current rate of 11.944, that would be considered a tax increase, and then we would need to advertise a notice of intent to increase property taxes. We would need to do a press release. We would need to have 3 public hearings. The increase in taxes, if we stuck with the current rate of 11.944 on a house of $100,000, would be $19.24. In light of the reassessments of the property, it would be my recommendation to maintain the current rate of 11.944. That's what I was asking Mayor and Council tonight, that would be based on your vote and your decision tonight.
Carol, before we make a motion here, can you go ahead and discuss a little bit? This is the next item on the agenda, but the relation of this tax increase and the revenue we're looking to generate to the revenue we're looking to cover out of this next budget as it relates to the use of the American Rescue Plan Act funds and how some of those funds are intended to recover.
I can do that if you'd like.
Well, no, this money has nothing to do with recovery. I don't see a relationship between the two. The reason why I say that is that the additional income is not coming on most residents. My taxes will not go up. I don't think anybody in here, your taxes will go up. If we go by, keep the old one here in hand.
Is that correct?
For anyone who had a reassessment of property value, and that usually comes when you sell the property, it's reassessed.
You can have some of that. Most of us from the new homes we've had built here and the new businesses were established. That's where the additional taxes come from. And I think at this point that AARP he's referring to over there, American
Rescue Act.
American Rescue Act, referring to has to do with lost revenues.
From COVID-19.
Right, from COVID-19. And I don't see that having this tax thing has any relationship to any lost revenues.
So let me just make sure I understand what you're saying.
Right.
What Carol has just recommended is that we adopt we do not adopt the rollback rate in order to generate additional revenue. But you don't think that it's related at all to revenue that we need to recover.
If I may, I don't think, that was the case. I think you mentioned that the additional revenue that would come in because we do not adopt the rollback rate is what you were talking about. Because
That's correct. That's
Right.
correct. If we maintain the current rate of 11.944, we would receive additional revenue from property taxes. The rollback rate pretty much is computed and based on reassessment, and it's meant to yield the same amount of property tax revenues in the prior
I
tax year.
understand. So any additional revenue that's coming in will be coming in because of increase in assessments or, as the mayor stated, additional properties that have been built.
Construction of new homes, but I do want to point out, and I'm just going to say this just because I know when I received my assessment, I did not sell my home or buy my home, but I did get reassessed by the county, and I do have an increase in my property value. So for persons who did get a reassessment group, the county reassessed and increased the property value, they might have a little bit of an increase.
So it's not fair to say that it's only new homes or people that sold their home.
No, I didn't say that.
No, nobody said that.
It would be anybody whose property value was reassessed.
I know mine was reassessed, so my taxes are gonna go up a little bit.
Mine was as well.
And then you mentioned that, you know, the average increase was
It would be $19.24
Per
per
$100,000.
fair market value of $100,000.
So if your home went up $10,000 a day, you know, $20,000 a day, you'd be some percentage of that then,
Correct.
right, per year.
Yeah, so if it went up 10,000, I think it'd be $1.92 or something like that.
Right.
Ms. Harrison, what is the lost revenue figure that we're looking to recover?
$277,123.70.
Could you be more specific? No, that was great. That's right.
But all we're doing,
Thank you.
thank you. What we do at this point though is authorizing the process to begin.
That's correct.
So we haven't made any decisions yet, we're not making any tonight.
No, if you decide you're gonna authorize the process, we start the advertising, the public hearings and those, because what you're saying is we do intend to
We
adopt.
intend to do it, but we're not approving it.
It will cover down to a final
We're not
budget.
approving it tonight.
That's correct. And if mayor and council decide to move forward with the process, I would like that timeline to run for the advertisements and the public hearings so that we can adopt as of September 7th, just so we have time to have that digest downloaded into our system, reconcile that digest in the system for the county digest, and then go ahead and review bills before they're mailed out. And that takes a good 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, I understand, but also I look at the fact that, that when we do this, if for some reason we want to revise it, we can do it at any time in the future. So there's no approval tonight for anything, it's approval
That's
just for
correct.
the process to proceed.
That's correct.
And at any time, we can have public meetings, if people, if we find other avenues of things, we don't need all that, we can say, okay, we just go and go up part of that.
That's correct,
Well,
Mayor. Come September 7th, if
That's correct.
you decide not to adopt that current rate and go with the rollback rate, that would be an option,
Right.
sure.
You would either, at the end of the process, adopt the 11.944 as recommended and advertised, or say, no, we're gonna adopt the recommended rollback of 11.463.
And I think if we decided to reverse and do the rollback rate, we would have to advertise an additional 5-year history. That's right.
So, Mr. Mayor, I move that we, approve to begin the process to maintain the 2021 millage rate at the current millage rate of 11.944.
I guess I'll second it since it was my item, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Doesn't matter who makes
Anybody
the
have any
motion.
further discussion?
Doesn't matter who makes the motion.
Anybody have further discussion?
No.
Okay. Call for question, all approved, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Now we get on to item number 15, which is going to give us a lot more detail on that little bit we got a second to go from it.
That's correct.
So that's the approval of the project, provision of government services to the extent of lost revenue, ARPA, local fiscal recovery funds, calendar year 2020, Councilman Wright and City Accountant Harrison.
Carol, go ahead.
All right, I just would like to kind of recap before I review the schedules that I provided. This is American Recovery, ARPA Act, local recovery funds. And I just want to recap what the eligible projects were. The projects, and this is based on all the guidance, the interim rule, all the webinars. First was to respond to public health emergency or negative economic impacts, including assistance to households, small businesses, nonprofits, or aid to impacted industries such as tourism, travel, and hospitality. The second eligible project was premium pay for workers providing essential work during the COVID-19 pandemic. The third eligible project was provision of government services to the extent of lost revenue. And then the fourth eligible project was investments in water and sewer infrastructure or broadband infrastructure. We have been approved and received ARPA funds, or we have been approved of ARPA funds of $2,944,172. We've received half this year. We will receive the other half next year. Okay.
Can you read that figure again, please?
$2,944,172. Half of that has been deposited into an account this year. We will get the second part of that next summer. Okay.
Ms. Harris,
Clarify, you meant 1.4 of that's been deposited, not the whole 2.9.
Right, 1 million, half of that, half of the 2.9 million. So we've gotten $1,472,086.
Ms. Harrison, what did you say the first project was again?
Respond to the public health emergency or negative economic impact, including assistance to households, small businesses, nonprofits, or aid to impact industries such as tourism, travel, and hospitality.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so just kind of wanted to summarize that. Next, we'll go on and look at the information for tonight's agenda. In your folder tonight, you've got what's called the revenue loss calculation worksheet, and then there's several supporting schedules for the loss of revenue for 2020. Okay, so this worksheet was provided by Carl Vinson Institute of Government, and it was created to use as a tool to calculate the revenue loss due to COVID for calendar years 20, 21, 22, and 23. Of course, we can only calculate revenue loss for calendar year 2020 because that's the only year that has been completed. As you look at this form, it does have some revenue for fiscal year 17, fiscal year 18, and fiscal year 19. And that is the total eligible revenues. It excludes donations, water fees, sewer fees, stormwater utility fees, interest, and reimbursement from insurance companies. So those revenues for those 3 years kind of give us a growth rate. The growth rate is 3.827%. We have the option to use that or 4.1%. The guidance and the formula says if your growth rate is less than 3.8, we can go ahead and use 4.1%. So as we use the 4.1%, we're now going to compute what's called a counterfactual revenue, and that is in step 3. And notice for calendar year 2020, our actual revenues based on the formula and the calculation was $6,389,618.99. The counterfactual revenue was $6,666,742.69. The difference is $277,123.70. Because our actual revenue is less than the counterfactual revenue, we are considered to have a loss of revenue for the 2020 calendar year due to COVID-19. And one of the projects, like I just recapped just a minute ago, was the provision of government services due to the extent of lost revenue. So tonight I'm kind of asking for a motion and approval by mayor and council to use $277,123 of this ARPA money to be considered for the project for the 2020 calendar year for provision of government services to the extent of lost revenue. I know that's a lot to take in. Because this is considered lost revenue, we're going to reclassify a portion of that $1.4 million from restricted to unassigned fund balance in the general fund. It would just flow into our revenue. Again, because it's for provision of lost revenue, we would not have to use it for any other specific purposes. It would just flow into our general fund and help with that budget for this next year.
Okay, Councilman Wright, your item.
That's a little complicated.
Yeah, there's a lot of money on the table with all this federal money that's coming down, and it is unbelievably complex. You just heard a scratching of the surface of the type of calculations they have to do this. So thank you, Carol, for everything that you do. We appreciate Carl Vincent and UGA and everything they do to help us pick this stuff apart as well. But yeah, Mayor, I move that we adopt the usage of these funds to go after the SARFA money and make sure it's used correctly.
Okay, have a motion, have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. I'm gonna make a comment on this. One thing that wasn't brought out in here is that this $277,173.70, I think it was, will keep us from having to take as much money as we were gonna have to take from our other fund sources, enterprise funds.
That's
And
correct.
Councilman Wright, you made a comment about that during our budget meeting there, how you were so disturbed about how much we were having to take
A
out.
little over $900,000 this year, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken.
So this is $277,000 we will not have to take out of that.
That's great.
That's gonna give us some relief in that area. Again, that's why I say it really has nothing to do with budget, the millage rate. Because we can't use it for anything else. It's using for what we've lost. It helps us keep our enterprise funds more fiscally responsible, fiscally sound.
That's right.
Okay.
It just,
Yeah.
$700,000 up from, I believe, $350 last year, up from, what did we spend at our water and sewer last year? I don't put you on the spot, Carol.
It was
Was it
one
650
point
last
three, it was 1.3 million that we transferred from water and sewer last year. That was primarily due to,
Yeah.
the construction of Center Park. I mean, we did use some SPOS money for Center Park, but we used, we don't have any debt on that, and we didn't finance anything.
Right.
But we kind of took some money and reinvested
In
it.
the couple
in
of years
coming
before
year.
that, though, we went from about 200 to about 600 to 1.2 to what we spent this year. Somewhere around those pretty close.
It was, I think, about 100, maybe back in 2019, or 170,000 maybe back in 2019.
It's too much, whatever it is.
I suppose when you spend it like that, 700,000 sounds fiscally responsible. So
And
It's
that's
not
the whole
fiscally
purpose of, if we're gonna continue to grow as a
Mhm.
city, as far as, employees and services, unfortunately, that does cost money, but, I think the reclassification of the SPARKLE funds, as well as, the reassessment of property and the increase of property taxes will help close that gap a little bit.
And this is all we can reclassify, is that correct?
At this
At this
time,
point.
we will not know.
Next year, we might be able to do some more.
Right, we won't know what the 2021 loss will be until December of 2021, because they
Right.
require us to calculate the revenue loss on a calendar year, even though we're in a fiscal year, so which kind of makes it a little bit convoluted, because we've got to split 2 years, and document the revenue for those 2 years, and then back out all the utilities, the interest, the insurance reimbursement, et cetera. But, as of probably next spring, when we do the budget, we should probably have that calculation. I should have that calculation of what the 2021 revenue loss will be.
Right. Okay. We'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Hearing none, that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Council.
All right, now we have comments from council. Close one. Okay, close two.
yeah, Mayor, I just want to say that something that I have found very important for me is that disagreement does not mean dissent.
That's right.
Just because we sit up here on this dais and we disagree over facts and figures and what we should do and when we should do it, that doesn't mean that we are mortal enemies of one another. Our purpose is to disagree at this dais. If we all sit up here and agree on everything, then I would rather stay home. To be very honest with you, I missed dinner tonight. I would rather stay home if we're going to not discuss anything, if we're not going to hash it out. I do think that we did a better job tonight than we have done in many months of discussing the business of the city in a public meeting in front of the people and not working out all of the details via email and then getting in here and just voting on it. I think that the public deserves to hear more of this part of the discussion. I think this was good tonight. I think this is healthy for all of us. And again, I think it doesn't mean that we are not on the same page. I think we are. But I think that it's in these moments when we discuss things and that we get specific and that we do come to a point of disagreement, that is where many times the best option and the best choices for the citizens are found. So thank you, Mayor, for the discussion tonight, and I look forward to the rest of this process as we sort out what we're going to wind up finally doing. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Those three.
So, Mr. Mayor, I just want to say thank you to all the employees of the city for all the work that they do every day to take care of our citizens and provide them the things that we provide them. Also, I just want to remind everybody that on August 10th, that is a Tuesday, that the police department is going to be having a prescription drug take back day. 308 East Church Street. So if you have any expired prescription drugs, please bring them by the police department so they can be disposed of. I'll be bringing my early chief because I'm not going to be here on that day. So please take advantage of that.
I'd say expired are ones you're not going to be using.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
That's a good
That's
point.
important too, because if you're not going to use them, get rid of them.
Expired or unused, that's correct.
You Save It Pharmacy is the business partner on that,
Okay.
and they will not be on site early. According to the DEA, they will all have to be collected between 2 and 5 by You Save It Pharmacy and a licensed pharmacist.
So that's going to happen between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
On August 10th.
if you're going to be able to show up on August 10th, please come between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. And I guess I won't be bringing mine early. I'll be sending it by someone. We want to do it right. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate, for clarifying that.
Thank you.
Those four, please.
Okay, got a couple of announcements, public announcements. Food Truck Fridays on August 6th, and any of you that have been to the park, there's hardly any room to sit because usually it's filled up with folks who are there to enjoy the food and entertainment and just enjoy the day out. Also on August 7th will be the farmer's market. I'm not sure if any of you have gone to the farmer's market, but it is also a lot of fun. Last time I was there, I bought a stalk of garlic. And the gentleman that sold it to me, sold it to me for $5. But here's the deal, right? I didn't know this because I'm not a farmer, but he told me, he says, if you bury each of these cloves in November, by January, you'll have more garlic bushes or something. But he showed me what they look like. And then he showed me how they're supposed to look. And then I told him, I'm going to plant them this year, and I'm going to take them back to him. I might resell them. But anyways, those guys are all a hoot out there. I mean, you got to go out there and enjoy it, and just enjoy all the people. They're a lot of fun. Of course, the Fall Festival applications are still open, so I encourage you to please contact the city if you're interested in participating with the Fall Festival. We'd like to make it as many people as possible would like to participate. Please come out and do that. August 14th is the First Responders Luncheon, which usually happens every year, but because of the pandemic, this group has not been able to host the First Responders Luncheon. This year it will be August 14th at noon at the Sacred Heart Parish Activity Center. And what happens is this group recognizes the first responders from Robbins Air Force Base, Perry, Houston County, Warner Robins, and Centerville. And so we'll definitely have our folks there to be recognized. Mayor Randall Walker will be the keynote speaker. I know that our mayor has been the keynote speaker several times and normally attends them all. And so, but we do, it's open to anybody who would like to come. It's $18 a ticket. Or, you know, if you're interested in coming, you can contact me and I'll make sure that we get it taken care of. But it's really a neat opportunity to recognize those first responders out there for their service and for their achievements this year. Also, just one more note, the other day when I was over here, I found a rock out here in the parking lot, right? And I swear, that was the prettiest darn rock I ever seen. It was painted, and it had a picture of a lady with a bubble gum. And so when I was here, I asked Krista if she could come out and take a picture of me with the rock, because they wanted me to repost it on a site that, so I mean, you know, believe it or not, even something that simple can make a person's day really nice. And so I thank them. Yeah, so, but it was really fun, and I encourage us to go out and do those good things for others. You know, something as simple as a rock really can make a difference to others. So that's all I have, Frank.
You know, at one time here, a couple of years ago, there was a Centerville Rocks group out there. And they would paint rocks with Centerville on it and different things like that. And they'd leave them around different places, and people would find them and they would move to other places. So that went on for a while. That was a neat thing.
Yeah, that was very fun. It's fun.
It was. Now, let's talk about the garlic growing like that. You do the same thing with ginger.
Yeah.
My wife does that. She takes pieces of ginger and sets it down in some pots and it grows up. And she gets these big things of ginger out. If you ever buy ginger, you know how expensive the roots are on that. And I'm surprised. I didn't think you grew over here. She grew over. So, Councilman Wright, you're absolutely right. And that was a great discussion we had there. We brought out a lot of points in there. And what it shows is that we don't all see everything the same way. We see it with different lights. And I am concerned about city taxes, of course, because I pay taxes. I don't try to get out of it. And since I do pay taxes, I mean, it's I don't know. I look at things this way on the tax aspect, is that almost all of our taxes that we take in go to support the police department, the fire department, and a little bit for inside City Hall here. But police and fire are the primary. You look at the budget item, you see that's where most of the money is, in that area. So every nickel we lose from those areas will impact the police and fire. And that's where the impact is. It's not any other place in the city. Because the water and sewer and sanitation, all that's all done under a separate funding system. It funds itself, in other words. No taxes are used in any of those areas. Just that, I think 95% of it goes to police and fire. So I just think those are important areas that we keep funded as much as we can. And we do support our seniors here. I think tax loss this past year was around 400 something, right at $400,000. It was close to that, if I recall. That's
About
what is it?
yeah, there's a schedule in there that kind of goes through that.
Well, it was still a lot of money.
It was,
Yes,
it
sir.
was, yes, sir. You're
Still a
right.
lot of money. And I know we do have this, do pass this 96,000 tax increase, as the state likes to call it. It's going to be on a percentage of what we're losing by supporting our seniors. Which I love supporting seniors, so I don't have any problem with that. Being a senior, I love being supported. So. But that's all I have for tonight, and I hope everybody has a great evening. And thank you all very much for being here and being with us on Facebook.